The morning was like any other, busy, chaotic, and filled with the usual rush of getting the kids ready for school. Lisa had spent the past few days decluttering the house, determined to clear out years of accumulated junk. With 3 kids and a husband who never threw anything away, the house had become a storage unit for old toys, broken furniture, and forgotten belongings. Today, she was finally tackling the attic, a space she had avoided for years. Dust floated in the sunlight, streaming through the small attic window as Lisa pulled out box after box. Baby clothes, holiday decorations, and old books were piled high, but what caught her attention was an old wooden toy chest shoved into the farthest corner. It was large and heavy, covered in scratches and stickers her son Ethan had stuck on years ago. She smiled, remembering how much he loved that chest when he was little. But now, at 13, Ethan had outgrown it, and it was just taking up space. With some effort, she dragged it down the attic stairs and out onto the driveway, placing it next to the pile of things she planned to donate or throw away. She was just about to head back inside when Ethan came running out the front door, panic written all over his face. "Mom, no! You can't throw that away!" he gasped, his voice filled with desperation. Lisa frowned. "Ethan, it's just an old toy box. You haven't used it in years." His face went pale as he shook his head violently. "No, you don't understand. There's something inside." Lisa's stomach tightened at the fear in his voice. She had never seen him react like this before. The urgency in his eyes sent a shiver down her spine. "What do you mean, something inside?" she asked, kneeling beside the chest. Ethan hesitated, looking around as if making sure no one was watching. He swallowed hard before whispering, "Mom, I hid something in there when I was little. Something I shouldn't have." Lisa's heart pounded as she reached for the lid. The chest was old but still sturdy, its hinges stiff with age. With a creak, the top finally lifted, revealing a pile of stuffed animals, broken action figures, and dusty toy cars. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But then Ethan reached in, pushing aside the toys until he uncovered a small wooden box, its edges worn and splintered. Lisa watched as her son hesitated before picking it up. His hands trembled as he slowly opened the lid. Inside, wrapped in a faded cloth, was a tattered, leather-bound notebook. Lisa's brows furrowed. "Ethan, what is this?" His voice was barely above a whisper. "I found it years ago, in Grandpa's old house." Lisa felt a chill creep up her spine. Ethan had been very close to his grandfather before he passed away, always exploring the old house where her father had lived. She remembered the day they had cleaned out his belongings, how Ethan had wandered off into the basement. "You took this from Grandpa's house?" Lisa asked. Ethan nodded. "I found it under a loose floorboard, but when I opened it, I got scared, so I hid it." Lisa took a deep breath and carefully pulled the notebook from the box. The cover was cracked with age, and when she flipped it open, she immediately recognized the handwriting. It was her father's. Page after page was filled with notes, scribbled hastily in black ink. Some pages had drawings, others had symbols she didn't recognize. But as she read further, her hands began to shake. The words detailed something horrifying. Experiments, secrets. The entries described strange occurrences, people who had vanished, objects that moved on their own, shadows that whispered in the dark. Her father had written about something buried, something that should never be found. Lisa's breath caught in her throat as she reached the final entry. "If anyone finds this, do not open the box. Do not let it see the light again. It belongs to the darkness." She stared at Ethan, her mind racing. "What did you do with the other box?" she asked, dread creeping into her voice. Ethan's face drained of color. "Mom, I think I might have opened it when I first found it." A gust of wind rattled the trees, sending a shiver down Lisa's spine. The air felt heavier, the sky darker than before. She suddenly felt exposed, standing outside, as if something unseen was watching. A distant creak echoed from inside the house. Lisa turned sharply toward the front door, her heart pounding. She had left it open, but now the shadows inside seemed deeper, the house eerily silent. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. If you found this story touching and inspiring, please like the video, share it with others, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for following along, and we'll see you next time for more uplifting tales.